Hi gang, Ed here, and I'm always looking for new ways to do things. I'm always looking for ways that fit in with the realities of your situation. You know, for example, I know a lot of you are struggling to get the traffic that you need to your website. It's not for a lack of resources or it's a lack of a lack of time. It's just getting harder, is the truth of it. And I know a lot of you are working and you're putting everything into your day job, quite rightly, and then when you get home, the thought of doing backlinking, well, I may as well ask you to go down to a stream, grab a trout, pick the trout up, slap it across your face a couple of times, and then put the trout back in, and then come back the next day and do it. We've talked about market leadership, and it's something that I love very dearly because if you're passionate about a particular area, it's very, very effective. But today, specifically, I want to spend a few minutes here talking to you about what I think is one of the next big things. And it really does address a couple of issues that I see. First issue it addresses is that it's a good strategy and system for people who are, well, bluntly, a bit short and don't have a lot of resources to, and let's not put too fine a word on it, cash, right? This is, I think, one of the best strategies I know for building up a bank. And then for those of you who have a few more resources but don't have time, I think that this particular approach is fantastic if you want to accelerate things, if you want things to happen much faster. But before I get into that, I should tell you who I am. I hate doing this normally because I think it really is, geez, I'm good, just ask me. But I will say that in the area of buying and selling websites, I've been doing it for a long time. I sold my first business back in 1999 for $3.5 million. I sold my second for $5 million in 2005. And I just recently took my previous company public last year and did very well. And in 2006, I released a course called Dominiche, The Art of Buying and Selling Websites. It was unheard of at the time. People thought that when you made money online, it was sort of magic and a bit of voodoo. Maybe there was some chicken slaughtering involved. But that was, I didn't think the case, and I wanted to prove it. And the previous year, I'd sold a bunch of websites, and I went and told my story, and Dominiche became a huge selling information product. Would you believe half a decade ago? It was such early days. It was such, the people who bought that course were pioneers. Some of them have gone on to do extraordinary things. But today, I want to talk to you about now and what's going on right now, because I think there are three things that are occurring that are really significantly changing the landscape of buying and selling websites, and I think it's the perfect time for us to exploit that. So let me explain. First up, let's look at these economic forces. So where are we at now? What's the landscape like? Well, back in 2006, traffic was pretty darn cheap still, and it was pretty easy to get, either using SEO or buying it. A typical test cost around $20 to run. Fast forward to today, and of course, a typical test is $200. And that's just at the low end to test a phrase. Or it takes, some weeks, if not months, to get a phrase ranked to the point where you can test and see if it's done. And we still do that. We do that every single day. Make no question about it. But there's no question about it that traffic is harder. And to me, in the old days, the thing that was the real handbrake was product creation. To create decent products was extremely expensive and extremely time consuming. And I think that has truly flipped over as well. If you look at the buying and selling world, it was very dangerous to sell websites in 2006. In fact, a lot of the original Dominiche was how to protect yourself and not give away the niche that you were selling if you were selling a website, because it would be so easy for somebody to literally come along and rip off what you were doing, because the traffic was super cheap. Nowadays, of course, it's completely different, and that's a good thing for you. It's a good thing for you, because this way, what you're able to do and what happens, of course, is that people can't easily rip off your site. So it's much easier, and from a selling perspective, a much easier thing to sell, to give all the information that people require, because there's no way they're going to be able to copy it. So that's really good. Marketplaces like Flipper have existed. Now, if we look at the overall economic environment that we're in at the moment, I think in most places of the world, except Western Australians, things are, I think pretty tough. In the UK, in Europe in particular, in the United States, people are feeling it. And so more and more people are looking for other opportunities, plan Bs, if you will, way to make money. And I think buying and selling websites is very much like buying and selling real estate, right? If you ask people how people get wealthy, I think that might be something that's very interesting. In fact, I'm going to tell you something pretty shocking in just a couple of minutes. But let's look at our second series of forces, and that is social. Social forces have become a huge factor in online, and I think they're only going to become bigger. The value of a site is not the site itself, it's not the code, it's not the construction, it's not the images, it's not the pictures, it's not that stuff, it's not the forms, right? It's the tribe, it's the people around that community. And building a tribe takes time. I should know. Bluntly, I'm one of the best people on the planet of creating communities and I suppose explaining market leadership principles and how to build a community. We've done some great work in that area. But I want to tell you a dirty little secret. It's much smarter, if you can, to buy an existing community and shortcut all that building. And indeed, and again, very much a dirty little secret, I think what you're finding is a lot of people are buying websites to expand their community. And when they compare the amount they're paying for that website compared to the cost of building that community and adding them into their current community, it's a no-brainer. So as social communities become so much more important, it becomes often a lot easier to buy that community. And of course, if you have a community and if you've built it in the right way, which of course we'd show you how to do, then that becomes incredibly valuable and a much bigger asset than what it has ever been. Technology, yes, I'm a bit of a geek. And there's been a few things that have happened which of course make life a lot easier in terms of if you're seriously considering some form of career or opportunity in buying and selling websites, because I should say there's more than one career, right? There's people who are doing great, and of course we show you all about this, being website brokers, just as there are real estate brokers and just as there are business brokers. But let's stick to the technology. Couple of key things here. First key thing is of course the advent of auction sites like Flipper. Dedicated communities dedicated to buying and selling websites. That because of course traffic has become much harder, it means that people would be happy to explain what their site does, which means these sites can exist. They couldn't exist in the original Dominiche. And of course, buying and selling aged domains, which is also a big part of this business, has come a long way, and that there are very structured auctions and processes. Of course, the best deals are outside of the auctions and the best deals are off Flipper, but we'll show you more of that later. But you've got these sites which make things a lot easier to transact, and certainly a heck of a lot easier to learn. And then on the other side, which is fantastic if you're starting from scratch, of course it's never been easier to build a website, create a really good looking website, get it ranked, get it listed in the search engines, and make it available for sale. We call it the harvesting approach. It's never been a better time, and thanks to the sites like Flipper, that you can create these sites, cost you very little, if not nothing, virtually, And then you can sell them 3 months later after they've had a chance to grow and mature for a couple of $100. Gee whiz, Ed, a couple $100. How exciting. Let me tell you, for people who are starting out, that is exciting, and you can quickly build your bank. And of course, once you build your bank, you can start buying sites that are more expensive and have more traffic, more value, more PR, maybe more money being made. And of course, you can renovate those, and then you can sell that for even more money, and so on it goes. You'll hear me a lot refer to real estate, and it's important. I think most people understand real estate. They get real estate. They get how you make money in real estate. You know, most people think you get wealthy and you make a lot of money when you sell a lot of stuff. Guess what? It's just not the case. Completely untrue. Have a look at anybody who's in the Forbes 500, or if you're in Australia, the BRW 200, or if you're in the UK, the FT 100. Not one person in that list got there, qualified to be there because they sold a lot of stuff. Not one. They all got there because they either sold their company and made a huge amount of money, they sold real estate and bought real estate and made a whole lot of money, or they went public and they sold shares, which is just another way of selling stuff, in their company, and it made their shares worth a lot of money. Not one was there out of cash flow. And this is a bit of a shock to people because they think, oh, I want to live that internet lifestyle. I want to live that, amazing, lifestyle. Almost makes me a little bit sick in my mouth saying that. Here's the tip. You don't get there by selling lots of stuff. A lot of my friends in 2006, I was only talking about this to somebody today, were literally making $1 million a month out of AdSense in the summer of 2006. And I refused to participate in it. I thought, it's got to stop. There was no value being added anywhere. It was just pure arbitrage. And I don't know if you remember Google in the summer of 2006, but it was horrible. Every page in Google, every top page was this review site where wherever you clicked, you clicked an AdSense link. It was horrific. And Google lowered the boom. And I can't tell you how many of those people went to the wall because they've been living their lifestyle on cash flow. The only time you make enough money to really set yourself up seriously is when you sell something or you buy an asset that appreciates a lot in value. That's the only way. The only way. Let me ask you something. How's that 10% savings plan going for you? We all know the financial theory, right? We taught it in primary school, high school. Put away 10% of everything we earn each week, and after 20 years or so, we'll have $1 million in the bank invested in indexes and so on, and you'll end up a millionaire in 20 years. Numbers work. Numbers add up. How's it going for you? If you're like me, it sucks. Most people tend to spend what they earn as a general rule, unless they're saving, they've got a specific goal, like a holiday or a car or something in mind. But saving up for, retirement, how's that doing? As I said, most people, it's only when they have a capital event, only when they, buy a house that appreciates enormously, doubles in value like it has in the area around here in the last 4 years, that they make serious capital wealth. It's what we call in the trade a capital event. Most, internet marketing style videos make you wait until right till the end when they reveal the price. It's no secret that when Dominiche was launched in 2006, it went for over $2,000, and we sold stacks of copies of it, and people loved it and thought it was worth every cent. Now I think, and this, we've got more content, way more content and cool techniques and strategies in this version than we did back in 2007. Would you believe video there was no YouTube when we did Dominiche last time. They were all enhanced podcasts. It's very quaint. because it was hard, right? It was hard to do products. So, people would think, okay, well, we're going to do it for a $2,000 price. In fact, people would potentially suggest that, oh, well, given the times and so on, we'll charge, $997. If people have been following along, and the only people who are seeing this video, of course, are people who are challengers, people who are on my list who are following me. That we've done some offers in the past where you could get the product for $497. Well, here's what we're going to do. It's Thanksgiving in the United States. So over this Thanksgiving weekend and into Cyber Monday, as they call it, you're going to be able to get Dominiche for the introductory price. You will never get it for $297. I mean, when you see how much content is in this thing, and you see how we've organised it, and you've seen the quality of it, because the presentation of this material is groundbreaking. It's like nothing you've ever seen before online. We have a reputation to protect. We need to make sure that it's absolutely state of the art, so that it works on your iPad, that it works on your iPhone, so that the content is not any old boring keynote presentation like you've seen a million times before. No, we've pulled out all the stops, and indeed to show you what it's like. And even if you're not interested, which you'd be crazy at that price, but stay around, just watch this video that Danny Batalik, who of course I work with closely in delivering the Dominiche content, I want you to watch this.
G'day, it's Danny here, and I'll be your tour guide on this quick tour of inside Dominiche. When you log into Dominiche, you land here at the dashboard. The dashboard is the hub of Dominiche. This is where we navigate to all the modules from, and all the updates and webinars will appear here in the dashboard. Now across the top here are all the navigation buttons, including all the bonus items. There are also 3 streams to Dominiche. The Getting Started stream is where everybody starts. And once you've gone through the Getting Started stream, you pick either the buyers or the sellers module whenever you need to go through those streams. You get to pick. So let's have a look inside one of the streams. So we're inside the Getting Started stream, and there's a description of the content, and the modules are listed here. You can click through to them, and also you can navigate to any of the modules on the left here. Now if at any point you get stuck inside of Dominiche, just click on the support button and we're there to help. So let's take a look inside one of the modules. Now inside each lesson, there's a description of what you'll learn in this lesson. Now you can watch the video streaming inside of Dominiche, or you can download it in one of a number of formats. You can download the high definition version, a standard definition version, or an iPhone version. Now at the bottom of most lessons where appropriate, there are exercises for you to put into practice what you're learning now, because Dominiche is all about the doing. And there are PDF checklists that you can download to keep you on track. And one more thing before I go, as Dominiche is a drip-fed system, as soon as a new video is available, you'll receive a notification. This coming soon notification will disappear and the lesson will be live. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this little tour, and I'll see you inside of Dominiche. Cheers.
I wasn't kidding. Like, it's extensive. But what else do you get? What's the deal? So, of course, you get the entire course, all those lessons, all those modules delivered to you over the upcoming couple of months. Plus, of course, we are doing, especially up to Christmas, and this is why I'm offering it at such a crazy price, because I'd love to get you all in on the live sessions, because I think you'll get a lot more out of it. From now right through Christmas, we'll be doing weekly sessions starting next week after the sale, so that we can work with you live. So Danny and I can consult with you direct on weekly group sessions. Now, of course, it's not like we're ripping it off the shelves. It's a digital product, for goodness sake. It's not like it has a use-by date. But we'll be selling it at $997 after this, not $297. And you won't get access to you'll be able to see the old webinars recorded and stuff, but it's not the same as being able to contribute yourself. So you get that as part of it. Now, I need to consult my list because there's quite a bit. Something that I'm very excited to have is to have an entire course inside the course. And it's the Build, Buy and Sell course, which was produced by David Jennings, who I've worked with closely in the past on. I actually helped him sell his store, believe it or not, after the first Dominiche. He had a real retail store, which I helped him sell. And Danny Batalik as well. And this is an entire course which is really flipper focused, and it really is superb. And it's an entire course there. You've got that getting started course if you're just starting, and then if you really want to get straight into selling sites or buying sites, and we've got tracks for you as well. We've really tried to think about how this all gets put together. Of course, you'll get 12 months of Challenge Plus as a complimentary thing, and this is a great thing, particularly if you're looking for a lot of renovation techniques, ideas, stuff that's working, ways to get extra traffic. Because if you're using that buy, flip and sell model, then of course the more techniques you have to upgrade and renovate a site, the better. Makes a lot of sense. The other thing I want to put in this is, I suppose, is a guarantee. Now, obviously, you've got 30 days to have a look at all of this, and if you don't like it, and by the way, while the course rolls out gradually, of course, you've got the Getting Started course is there for you, the buy, flip, and sell course in its entirety is there already for you. You're going to get a great way to test this all out, and for goodness sake, at $297, you're getting $2,900 worth of value. There's no question of that. But there's something more important to me, and that is, when people produce these courses, they really don't put their money where their mouth is. They expect you to take some sort of the risk. Yeah, you can check it out for 30 days, but what if you're busy 30 days? It's coming up to Christmas, right? Well, I do believe in what we teach, and I know this stuff works. I absolutely know it does. So, here's the deal. What I'm going to do is that if you go through this course and you follow all the instructions, go through all the processes and do it, and if at the end of 12 months, for whatever reason, you can't make it work, then I will double your money. Okay? I will give you back what you paid, plus I will give you back and that same amount again for just having tried it, done it properly, and it not worked for you. Because this stuff works. And so I'm absolutely prepared to give you that double your money back guarantee. If you use it over the 12 months, follow along all the steps, do all the stuff. All you need to do is show us what you've done. Just talk to us. We just want to have a discussion with you just to make sure and learn why it didn't work for you. Because if you do this properly, it will work. I am certain of it. And we'll give you your money back. Double it. So that's how confident we are in this course. So I think we can't be fairer than that. And at the price we're offering over the next few days, it's a no-brainer. Now, let me tell you something else that's in the course, which I think is pretty exciting. Everybody is talking about Flipper, and Flipper is a good place to go, particularly when you're starting out, just to learn and get those example auctions under your belt and really start to get a feel for the marketplace. But inside of Dominiche, we're going to tell you the best place to find sites. Find them for high PR, find them for high authority, because you can use those sites to give you backlinks, which you don't have to beg, borrow, or steal, right? We show you where to buy the sites that have great traffic, but people are prepared to sell for a song because they don't value the traffic. They don't understand that the sites are worth anything. And we're going to show you this technique as part of Dominiche. It's killer. Because when you think about real estate, if you're waiting for the properties to be advertised in the local paper, you've already lost the best deals. The smart real estate investors are the ones who are trawling the streets, looking for those obvious opportunities. Obvious to the real estate investor, the savvy one, not obvious to anybody else. And we are going to show you that inside this course. When I look at the people who made the decision to buy the original Dominiche, and see how well they have done in the following 5 years, it's a real opportunity for you. It's a real opportunity because, it's funny, in the original Dominiche, I said, look, this situation can't last. It surely can't last more than 2 years where people are selling things for nothing, right? And guess what? They're still doing it. They are still doing it. I still can't believe it. And I can't believe that the market is going to adjust and shake itself off. So now is the time to do it. And speaking of time, as I say, we're talking $297 here. $297. It's nothing for the size course. It should be a $2,000 course. But I think in this day and age, with this environment, this economic environment, I want you to give this a great chance. So until the end of Cyber Monday, it's $297. Then it goes up to $997, which is where it should be. And then it'll be available for general sale. But this is because you have been awesome. You have been part of the challenge, and you've been part of my list. And I love making special offers like this to people. So it is totally an awesome opportunity to grab right now. Okay, now is the time to do it. Because I think there are so many people looking at this. You're looking at this and you want to make a difference, right? You want to make a change in your life, in other people's lives around you, and you want to do that. And I'm not into that woo-woo rubbish, right? I'm only interested in things that actually work. And the way you can make a difference in somebody's life, yours or somebody else's, is guess what? Make some actual money. Have some actual stuff. Money that you can take in the bank and put it in the bank. And then use it well and wisely. That's the way you can make an influence. And I truly believe that unless you're in the situation where you're buying and selling things, that really big payday will never come. You may make great cash flow from time to time, but if you don't think about an exit strategy, you don't set your site up to sell, you don't understand how to buy, you really are operating with one hand tied behind your back. And so Dominiche is here. It's available. It's groundbreaking technology. The training is incredible. You've got all the interactive work that we're going to be doing together, particularly between now and Christmas, getting you started to fire up for the new year. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get it at this price. So look, go hit that button now. You know you want to. It makes sense. It's $297 for goodness sake. It's normally $997. Make it happen. Let's do this. I will see you on the other side. Get into the course, and then I look forward to seeing you in our first live webinar. All right, we'll speak to you soon. Thanks for listening. Really do appreciate it.